Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your February reading. I have to preface this a little bit because my disposition is going to be quite different and maybe a little bit somber, more than normal. I've had pretty deep meditations with my guides this week, and they keep kind of throwing it in my face like, you got to get your ego out of the fucking way. So this is going to be more, I think, of a channeled message for you, Gemini specifically. If you are not interested in a high-level spiritual reading, this is not the reading for you. If you want to know about who did what and your ex coming back, this is not the reading for you. It's not going to be like that. This is so much bigger than that. Sun coming through the 9th house. This is about seeing the forest, right? This is about other realms, and it's about higher level consciousness right now, okay? So I know something happened. I know Geminis went through like a whole lot of shit. I know. My reading last month was the most watched video I've ever had in my entire 4 years of doing this, right? It was like almost 90,000 views, which to me is like normally I'm like between 10 and 20,000 views, right? So this was like unreal for me. So it tells me Gemini is like wanting answers. You're wanting to know, you're wanting to see, you're wanting to understand, you're wanting to, right? You're wanting to ask the questions and get the answers, and you're wanting to grasp onto what this all means. It's not possible. It's not possible with that mindset. 3 of Swords runs deep. Sorry, I know, I'm going to probably be looking down a lot. I'm not looking at myself in the camera right now because I just can't have that going on right now. There's a humility factor that really needed to come online for me. So just FYI, that's why I'm looking down. This is a collective reading. It's a collective experience for the collective Gemini essence, okay? The 3 of Swords can be so painful and so liberating all at the same time. And there should, quote unquote, hopefully there's a natural feeling of liberation coming online for you. In the disguise of pain, in the disguise of wounding, in the disguise of hardship, you have been set free. And the transition is so incredibly subtle. And it's not anything to boast about, like, oh, I'm free. It's you just coming back into your soul's more natural state. And there is a whole new wave of understanding about what happened, about what you said, about what that person said. And there's no blame going on here at all. In fact, Page of Cups, I think, represents the gratitude. It represents the sweetness that hopefully you're connecting with. There's no hostility. There's no sorrow. There's no grief. There's just an acceptance, and that's it. And it is through that acceptance that the light begins to enter into the wounding. And your soul begins to sing. For some reason, I'm feeling so incredibly drawn to music. I'm not really a big music person. I like music, sure, but this whole week, my playlists have been going nonstop. And when you start thinking of life and thought patterns and emotions as musical frequencies, you start seeing life unfolding as though it is some kind of musical masterpiece. And the Page of Cups, the Piscean element, brings out that musical quality. Okay? I told you it was going to be big. I knew it was going to be big. Two of Swords reversed. You seem to be at a crossroads. It's a fallacy. You're not at a crossroads. Six of Swords, you are absolutely on the right trajectory. That's why in the beginning, all these questions, all these answers, there is no answer, but even more importantly, there is no question. I'm not trying to sound like a guru or anything, but there is no question why someone did something, why someone said something, why did this have to happen. There is absolutely no use in asking these questions. And there is no benefit to receiving the answers to those things. Because what's happening right now, I mean, with all this 8th house activity, you guys have to understand that there is some deep soul level shit that is happening inside of you. It is going to be happening all year. Your transformation, more so than anyone else in the zodiac, right, is more prominent. We're all changing, yeah, sure, but you especially. Eclipses in the 8th house, are you fucking kidding me? I mean, that is like so real. No wonder why I had so many views on my Gemini video. Like, your soul is just screaming to be liberated. It is screaming for freedom. And it is feeling the impact and the pressure of the structures that you have set up for yourself, the belief systems, the limiting belief systems especially. So when I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, you are not at a crossroads, it's because you are not at a crossroads. When you tap into what feels natural, to what feels good. Like, we live in a society that completely suppresses emotions. Like, go to work even if you don't feel like it. I'm a millionaire because I put my emotions aside. Like, oh my God, these people are dying slowly inside. Like, I don't care how much money you have. Like, you're not alive. Pay attention to your emotions. When you feel like eating, eat. When you feel like being outside, go outside. When you feel like being in peace, go be in peace. When you feel like being with people, be with people. Like, flow. Because this transformation is happening whether you like it or not. And the more rigid you are, the harsher it's going to be month after month after month after month. 6 of Swords is the most peaceful sword card you can get. Swords, your element, air. Don't lock yourself into thoughts. Don't crisscross your thoughts. Let your thoughts flow with you. Let the clouds flow through the sky. The more barriers you set, the more walls you have, the more intense it's going to be in July during the next eclipse season. And as the sun comes opposing Pluto and opposing the sun. Saturn, excuse me. You're not really at a crossroads, guys. That is a fallacy. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing. And you're absolutely headed in the right direction. Don't worry about anybody else. This has nothing to do with anybody else. I don't care what was said. Your world is slowly turning over. Slowly being the key word. Slowly, surely. I feel like something's on my arm. Slowly but surely. This is a Saturnian energy. It's ruled by Saturn. And the world tells you when you're ready, right? Life tells you. Time tells you. Like, you don't control the way that life unfolds. And the more you release, the more you surrender, the more positive an outcome. This is such spiritual deep work, guys. This is not about your work. It's not about your money. It's not about your romantic partnerships. This is about you and the evolution of your soul, right? And kind of like the soul's purpose here on this planet. It's time to stop thinking just only about what's immediately in front of you. The immediate satisfaction, the instant gratification. It's time to learn how to release a lot of that stuff. The more and more you pull your spirit down to reside within your ego and your personality, the more stress you are going to incur. People are all over the place right now, and it is only the most evolved that are getting through unscathed. There are so many people out there that are having beautiful experiences. I can even attest to that myself. The past month has been one of the best months of my life. Nothing big has happened. Nothing has really happened. But people who are evolved, that's the thing, is like nothing happens. Like life happens, things happen, but also nothing happens. This is a card of things happening. And this is a card of getting so wrapped up in things happening. Personalities clashing, people trying to tell you what to do, you trying to tell other people what to do. The way to avoid this is to stop expecting things from people. Yes, even the people that you love. Love and non-expectation is kind of like goes hand in hand. Because when we start expecting is the minute that ego comes in. I need this, I need this, I need this. I need you to do this, I need you to say this. I need you to live up to this level. If someone isn't living up and you don't like it, you can just flow, you can just change. Who cares? Do what's natural. If you're not happy, move on. The rigidity will kill you. Like literally, it will kill your spirit. And you don't like rigidity. So why is there an essence of rigidity here? With this card specifically, not the whole reading, but there's an element of rigidity here. Because there's an element of expectation. And when people start expecting things of you, right, it's the same thing for them. It goes both ways. It's not just you, it's everybody. This is office politics. This is arguments within a relationship. This is arguments with your best friend, with your parents. This can permeate through many different kinds of relationships, because when you have a problem with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, that can permeate into all your other connections. The best thing to do is to eject yourself from this, because the more and more you reside here, the harder and harder this turnover is going to be. This is often a result of clinging. Clinging to an idea, clinging to a person, clinging to an emotional attachment, clinging to a thought, a belief. Clinging is very dangerous. It's a very dangerous game. And you're not a clinging sign. That's not your vibe at all. So why? Why is the clinging happening? I would say at this point, beating a dead horse. I would say at this point, this one I just happened to knock it off the top of the deck. So here we go, the Empress. That's you. That is 100% you. Right? Let's get back to this one first, though. 5 of Cups, 3 of Swords, 5 of Wands. The reason why you're feeling like you're at a crossroads is because on some level, your mind is already made up. Your mind is already taking you and it's already drifting, but your heart hasn't quite caught up yet. Your heart is still like living in the realm of hope. Hope is a fuel only. Hope either fuels your faith or it fuels your fear. And I think in this case, it is fueling the fear. Hoping that someone will do something is masking a fear that they will not. And the minute that you release that is the minute it just all goes away. There is no need for sadness at all. There is no need for stress. There is no need for anxiety. Again, those people who are evolved, who are sitting high in their spiritual throne of power, authentic power, they are not experiencing this. There are many of you who are going to be watching this reading hoping to get something, but you're not going to get anything because you've already dealt with all of it. You've already figured out how that happens. Some of you are sitting in this authentic throne of power, this throne of authentic power, excuse me. See, she has the crown of the 12 stars, the 12 stars of the zodiac. Like she eats the zodiac for breakfast. Right? She's already conquered the archetypes. She's already conquered the energetic tension and flow. She is not a product of the growth patterns as mapped out by the stars. She has surpassed that. The stars do not impact us, right? They don't, like, it's a map. That's all it is. That's all the stars are. It's just a map. What's impacting us is the template of life as it emerges from our consciousness center, be it from our sun, be it from our planet Earth, be it from the black hole in the center of the galaxy, or be it from the black hole at the center of this universe, right? It's a template. It's a fractal template, down and down and down and down. And the planets are just as much privy to that because they too are also living entities just like we are. So they are going through the same growth and learning experiences that we are, just on a higher level of consciousness. Do you see? So people who are unevolved, they look to the stars and they blame the stars. People who are evolved look to the stars and understand what's happening and become untouchable. That's my word this year, and I'm going to be saying it over and over and over in all the signs readings, because that is the essence of what this year can bring: untouchableness. And the Empress is an untouchable. She sees what the stars are doing, she understands what the life force is doing, and yet her life remains at peace. Because she has conquered her mind, she has conquered her emotions, and she allows emotions and thoughts to be simply objects that she experiences and nothing more. She experiences these things the way you experience a television show. That's why she wears the zodiac as a crown. It is a badge of honor. You are getting there. The world reverse is forcing you in that direction. That's where you are going. You are transforming. 8th house, Pluto, Saturn conjunction, please. The harder and harder you push, the more and more you seek, the more and more you try, the further and further out it gets. Stop trying. Sink in to the void. Sink into the nothingness. How do you do that? You meditate. You have to first understand what that means. On an esoteric level, these are esoteric lessons, esoteric qualities that must be received energetically, not through an intellectual conversation. I've been struggling so much with this month's readings, guys. So much, because I am having a hard time converting my thoughts into a comprehensible language, right? Into language that makes sense to people. Like the forming of the words is the hard part here. And I think that's a part of my journey and my development, is like getting to that level where talking is a problem. It's an obstacle, right? Because if you were sitting right in front of me, I could just sort of flow the information to you in like 1 second and you would understand, kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I've been hitting some roadblocks this month. And this is coming for you. The reward is there, but you need to make it through this whole thing first. Okay, now I'm going to pull 3 more cards. I'm going to put the camera down though. Let's see if I can do this here. I know the camera is like a weird angle. I'm going to pull 3 more, and then we'll pull the clarifiers for the comprehensive. Oh, sorry, let me turn this around as well. Okay, so you can see them the way I see them. That's you. That's your openness. This is my student of the tarot here. Breathe. Man, all the pages. You are being asked. Maybe that's why my whole ego thing came out, right? Because maybe I was like preparing for the Gemini reading and I was like, there's humility. Humility is huge for everybody right now. Right? Being humbled by life itself. Everyone is being reduced to their most childlike form. And that is the greatest thing that a human adult can attain. Like childlikeness, childlike curiosity, childlike flow, childlike trust and faith. And there was something with the breathing that I don't know, I've been thinking about breathing a lot. Breathing, you know, the way that the universe is expanding, the way your lungs expand, you know, and we are merely in an expansion phase. The way that life gets easy and then contracts and becomes challenging. It is the inhale and the exhale of life. And through your meditations, while it may be challenging to really quiet the mind and to quiet the heart, the one thing I know you can do is focus on your breathing and your heartbeat. And those 2 things, those 2 points of focus will give you all the answers that you need, that you think you need. Every answer is found within your body because your body itself is a universe. It doesn't matter what anyone says. Anything that anyone's going to give you right now, it's not very deep. There is so much stuff happening here on the ethereal level, in the collective consciousness cloud, that whatever someone presents to you is merely a very small part. It's like the tip of the iceberg, but we all know that 90% of the iceberg's mass is below the surface of the water. There is something so much deeper, and if you are only looking at what's going on the surface and you think the iceberg is only like this big, you're in for a rude awakening. Brutal. If that hasn't already happened. What someone says, there are multiple layers. What someone does, there are multiple layers. That's why judgment and blame have no space right now. Your soul is calling you toward peace. But yet the more you cling, the less peaceful your life becomes. The universe wants to turn over. It wants to give you a clean slate. But it's up to you to let it, right? It's up to you to be at that evolutionary point. That point where you can conquer this kind of stuff easily. And you can let this flow into your life like a thunderstorm and let it flow out of your life like a thunderstorm. So let's pull clarifiers. I told you it was going to be heavy, guys. Absolutely not the reading for people that want to know if their boyfriend's going to come back. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I didn't put reversals in here. 1 second. Let me get those in. I spent a whole bunch of time shuffling and meditating. Okay, where do we start? 3 of Swords. Those there a third party situation, a betrayal, a lie, a gossip? Were you a victim of a rumor? Victim of someone else's freaking attitude? Five of Wands. There's the Aquarius. There's the detachment. You are absolutely being called to follow your heart right now. A lot of Geminis struggle with following their heart because they have that mental duality. They have the devil and the angel on their shoulder that's constantly trying to tell them certain things. And they can easily get lost in that dialogue. To be able to turn that dialogue off for you specifically is challenging, again, but only if you are, still learning. Evolved Geminis can be very powerful in that regard. Page of Cups. There are three people here. Clearly there's some kind of complex dynamic going on. Very different personalities. A lot of passive aggressiveness. There, the world turns over. What did I say about it being so much deeper? This is what they give you. This is what they show you. This is what's really happening. Right? That's what's really happening. They show you the page. They send a messenger. But there is a whole mess of stuff going on behind that curtain. For the Empress. Sun reversed. A whole bunch of cards for the Sun reversed. There's too much questioning going on right now. Too many questions. There's no space for questions. Only a sense of awe is welcome. Now the Two of Swords comes out upright. One more for the World reversed. Now the Ace of Coins. Okay. Alrighty. I am going to, I know I didn't talk too much about the clarifiers. I just kind of wanted to show you guys what's going to be discussed in the comprehensive so you guys can see what's coming out. So we'll go ahead and stop the reading there. Thank you guys so much for everything, and thanks for dealing with my kind of strange delivery this month. I know it was kind of off-brand, but I really do wish you guys nothing but the best this month. So good luck, and I will see you in March. Take care.